Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday. Hope you're having a good day, or off to a good day, or had a good day, depending on when you watch this. So I guess it'd be good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Uh, so I ton of baking to do today. Already been up and moving this morning. Been to the grocery store, went out to the garage, built a present for Abby, which you guys might get to see here at the end of the video. And at the end of this video, we're probably going to take a look at the fish too. Talk a little bit about this. This video won't take long. At least what we're making won't take long. So today, I got to get pies made and the last of my snacks. We're down to crunch time. I work all day tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve. So that's probably going to eliminate doing pretty much anything. So I thought we'd do something because I've already done a cherry pie video. I've already done a sugar cream pie video, but one thing we haven't done, and I've been making these now for a little while, mostly for myself, is my version of Star Crunches, or a milk chocolate caramel rice toasted rice treat. It's a copycat of Star Crunches basically, but made my way. And then that way I can also get the cherry pie and the sugar cream pie made. I'm not going to have time to do a data log. These two pies will probably take up the better half of the afternoon. And that's okay. This literally has 3 ingredients. They're not hard to make at all. I never even wrote down the recipe. It's that easy to make. Although I won't lie, it took me a second to kind of remember everything as far as process goes. But real quick, before I forget, if you haven't subscribed and you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you. Just hit the subscribe box down below if you would. If you feel so inclined at any rate to join our little community of neighbors. If you're returning, thank you. But that wasn't actually my thought. Thumbs up, thumbs down, always welcomed. Comments, as always, I love them. Can't wait to read them, look forward to them, and or listen to them, depending on who you are. I have one member of our society that loves to send me YouTube links of music videos that kind of express his thoughts, which, once again, he put some thought in before he did some typing, which is awesome. So, but that being said, Chris and I went to a Pampered Chef party a while back. And if you don't know what Pampered Chef is, they're kind of like the Avon of kitchenware, only their stuff's really good. We've got quite a few things that we've had for years. Most of my prep knives, my everyday prep knives, are Pampered Chef. They're just a really, they're not paying me to do this. I'm not, sponsored by them or anything like that. They're just a really good product, and I'd like to boast on them a little bit. But I got something new I'm going to try, and it's just kind of cool. So this, my friends, is a food processor, and it's battery operated. And this handle here, it detaches and goes to an immersion blender. Maybe it goes like to 5 different things, but it's all battery operated, which means I don't need a plug, and that's freaking awesome. We saw these, like I said, we went to that party a while back and saw these, thought these were really cool, and the mandolin they had was pretty awesome also. So instead of doing what normal people do and just paying full price for it, Chris threw a Pampered Chef party online, and it got us a really good discount on this, so we were able to get it. Which is awesome. It's something that we need to, like to try. I'm not going to use it in this video, but I am going to try it today because I got to make, I have one dough in the freezer that I made back at Thanksgiving that I need to use up, which I'm going to use for the sugar cream pie, but I need to make another dough for the cherry pie, and bam, that's how I make my dough, is in a food processor. So, and if you want to see how I make my dough, I have a video way back when, well, about a year ago, when I made my apple pie. I show you how to make my dough. And it's a really easy butter crust, pretty much no fail. But anyhow, back to the task at hand. We're making, like I said, basically copycat Star Crunches. So let me get you down here, and we'll go over the 3 ingredients and start this process. Time isn't wasted, or as an old man once told me, come on, Smith, you're burning daylight. So here is all our ingredients, and all three of them will be things that, brands that you like. You will need milk chocolate chips. I prefer milk chocolate chips. You can use semi-sweet, which I think is what the original lady I watched make these made them with. I personally thought they were a little too semi-sweet for what I was going after. I had a craving for them, and I didn't want to go to the store, so I made it myself. But I'm using Gridella's milk chocolate chips. Use whoever you like. If Toll House is your thing, or the store brand is your thing, or that's all you can find at the moment, because geez, oh Pete, with it being the holidays and shortages, you can't find anything. The second ingredient, caramel. Just dessert topping caramel. You're going to need an entire jar, at least 12 ounces of caramel. And then whatever toasted rice cereal you prefer. In this case, I have the family size box of Rice Krispie treats. That was all, or Rice Krispies. They're not treats yet because we didn't add marshmallows and butter to them. But that is also all they had available at the grocery store. And price-wise, I mean, you're still looking at under $10, and we're about to make a lot of treats. Oh, well, thank you. I got a bag. Okay, thank you. I'll get it put away. All right? Absolutely. You take care. That was young Abby bringing me a bag. So, all we have to do to start this process, the only things you'll really need tool-wise, you will need a double boiler of sorts. Now, you can also do these in the microwave, but as we found out with the ganache, microwaves are just not, in my opinion, the way to do chocolate. So, that being said, we need a double boiler. We are going to need a stirring apparatus of some sort. And your double boiler could either be a true, I bought it from the store double boiler, or it can just be something as simple as a small quart pot and a bowl. Most people will not recommend using glass, but this is the only wide bowl I have, and I've used this thing a million times. Now that I've said that, it'll probably break. We're going to turn it on medium-ish to medium-high. We don't, much like any other time we've melted chocolate, we don't want the water to boil. We don't want it to get so hot that it burns the chocolate. I had a no-bake accident the other day. I had to throw away a whole thing of no-bakes. I was so upset. I burnt the chocolate. Burn it. And I made them anyhow just to see if it would be okay, because I didn't actually hit the bottom. And it tasted burnt. It was horrible. So, low and slow is the way to go with chocolate. But all we're going to do is open up our bag of chocolate. Chocolate of your choice. I prefer milk chocolate. I think it gives it the closest flavor to the original caramel chocolate and Rice Krispie treat we know as Star Crunch. And then we're going to take our caramel and we're going to dump it right on top of it. Whole jar. If you are looking for a healthy treat, this is not one of them. All right. Got that in there. So now all we have to do is melt this down. So as soon as I get it melted down, we'll move on to the next step. All right, I'll see you here in a second. Okay, so we got our chocolate done. All right, we're nice and melted. Got the caramel blended in, looking gooey. Water was just a little too hot. That's all right. And remember, once your chocolate starts to melt, you don't want to stop moving it. If not, it can burn even in a double boiler. All right, so we got our chocolates good to go. Now, here's the part that, because she just said, put a half a box in. Well, the problem with just putting a half a box in is it depends on the size of your box. And I don't remember exactly what size box she had. But we're going to start out with, about 4 cups. And we're going to stir this together. Now, I mean, the reality of it is you're looking for something that has the same consistency and look as, a Star Crunch. So if you get it mixed up and it looks like it needs a little more, put a little more in there. It's not the end of the world. So we'll get this stirred up good. We're just looking to coat in this case, Rice Krispies, or whatever brand you buy, with the chocolate. And your chocolate's going to hide at the bottom, just to let you know. At least it does for me. But this is also why you want a wide bowl. I mean, we're about 90% done. This really is just a quick, easy snack. If you have kids, hands down something that you can do with the kids or let the kids do. Yeah, I mean, depending on their experience with the stovetop, yeah, I wouldn't let a 3-year-old run the stove, I don't think. But, I mean, it's still, very kid-friendly to do. Yeah, and that's just as important, as anything else. This gives you time in the kitchen with your family, And I know growing up, I mean, we didn't learn a whole lot in the kitchen. We learned some things in the kitchen. But, I mean, when I was growing up, the most important thing to us was, going outside and playing, which I know a lot of people that don't do that anymore. A lot of kids that don't do that anymore. I think video games have taken up a fair amount of space, and online and social media have taken up a lot of our younger people's, free time and playtime. And you need that playtime. I don't care who you are. I mean, heck, me and Chris are old by, some standards, and we still go play. It may not be riding bikes across town, getting lost in the woods and, stuff like that, but we still hop in the car and go out of state occasionally. We still, go out in the garden and play. We, do cookouts and barbecues and not so much on social media. All right, so now that I have it on my hands, next thing we're going to do is set this to the side right quick. Boom. And this recipe can be doubled, tripled, quadrupled, whatever you like to do. You have as many as you like to make. You can freeze them. You can, I keep mine in the fridge, although, to be honest with you, they don't last that long. We have kept them out at room temperature, but where I don't temper the chocolate, you won't necessarily get true chocolatey fingers, but you won't get, you'll get a little bit of chocolate on your fingers. That's just a fact of non-tempered chocolate life. But I'm telling you, they're good. Give you an excuse to lick your fingers. I wish somebody would invent a parchment paper that, when it came out of the roll, wasn't curved. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? All right, so the next thing we need to do, just line of paper. Parchment paper on a baking sheet, because we're going to have to let these cool a little. So we're just going to grab a spoon, set that right back on that pot. And we're just make them whatever size you like, but we're just going to drop them down on the paper there, smush them out a little bit, get them on your hands. Just like so. And like I said, any size you want. Maybe you're like making these for, say you're having a party, a get-together, or you're taking them to a party. You can make small ones, bite-sized ones. Oh, that tastes so good. I can't help it, I got it all over my fingers. All right, so let me get the rest of these on here, and then we will talk about what's going on next. All right? All right, so I'm done putting them on trays, and you're saying to yourself, what? That's not the same tray you had. It shrunk. You're right, it did shrink. No, actually, the first tray is already where I decided I want to put that tray. Now, what do we do with these? Here they are. We have like 3 options to choose from with what we do them now. Actually, kind of 4. So let's talk about it for a minute. Yeah, let's communicate. Something the world's lacking in lately. So, first option. We let them set out forever on the counter and let them just set until they're hardened again. That could be an all-day process depending on your house. If your house is warm, it may take all day. Like my kitchen right now, it's pretty warm. So it would take probably most of the day for them to set. I don't want to wait that long. Second option is put them in the fridge. You can put them in the fridge for about an hour or so, and they'll be nice and firmed up and ready to eat. Or you can put them in the freezer, option number 3, which is where the first tray is right now, and they'll harden up in about 15-20 minutes. Or you can do option number 4, which is just eat them warm, because they're really good warm too. Might make your belly hurt though if you eat too much. So I'm going to stick, this batch is going to go in the fridge. We're limited on fridge space. I've got Buckeyes in there. I've got fudge in there. I just finally took all the cookies out of the freezer just to make room and to get them ready, because like I said, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and we've got some boxes of cookies to take out to friends of ours and that we want to get to, so they got to be good and thawed and, you know, ready to rock and roll by tonight, so we can package them up and deliver them tomorrow. So I'm going to put these ones in the fridge. Like I said, I got those other ones in the freezer, and we're going to let them harden up, and then we'll come back and see how they taste and talk about it. All right? I'll be right back. Well, we pulled the ones out of the freezer. They are ready. Took a whopping like 15 minutes. Well, I might have been in there for 20. But there we are. A nice, wonderful treat. And it costs us next to nothing. And it's not healthy by any means. It's still really frozen. But, oh, what a delicious snack. Not healthy by any means. Not healthy at all. But well worth it. And you can make these anytime. And they take no time at all. They cost, for the amount you make, I mean, I made these kind of large. You know, it costs you about half the price as if you bought them in the store. I personally think they taste a little better. That's my opinion. But try them. I mean, they're good anytime. They're not just good at Christmas time. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're like a Rice Krispie treat, only with chocolate and caramel, basically. But they, like I said, make them anytime. They're a good, quick, clean, fun way to get a snack that costs next to nothing. Like I said, keep them in the fridge. You can leave them out for a little while, but they will start to get chocolate on your fingers where we didn't temper the chocolate. Tempering, in my opinion, is just a lot of work when we have a fridge and we can keep them in. And honestly, I mean, with the exception of today and tomorrow, because in Ohio it's going to be like 50 degrees, which is weird for December. We leave a lot of our refrigerated stuff outside. Yeah, we'll put it in the garage or whatever, as it stays cold enough here. As long as it's below 38 degrees, between 38 and 33, you can leave, you know, refrigerated stuff outside. If it's below 32, you can leave freezer stuff outside. Put it in a cooler in your garage, and yeah, if you have a garage. If not, yeah, that could be a damper. But put stuff outside. Anyhow, give these a try. Tell me what you think. I think you'll like them, especially if you do like Star Crunches. Then we're, you know, right there on the same playing field at any rate. Like I said, I use the milk chocolate because that's what we like, and that's what I think gives it the closest flavor profile. But you can use any chocolate you want. Semi-sweet, bittersweet, if that's your gig. The caramel will do it justice. You'll have that even with the semi-sweet. You'll have that sweetness in it, just like you would a chocolate chip cookie. You'll just have that bit of bitterness to it because of it's semi-sweet. So, anyhow, give these a try. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you try them. You know, I'm sure you'll like them, but if you don't, let me know. All right, so why don't we go take a look at the fish tanks real quick, and we'll talk about the mess we got into with that, and kind of take it from there. All right, I'll see you downstairs. All right, well, here is the tank that was least touched by our little predicament. when Abby decided to help us out and feed the fish. I don't think she actually got to this tank because I don't think she's tall enough. Although at the moment it's a little cloudy because Java, our common pleco, they get really big. If you don't know what a pleco is, it's I guess in common terms it would be a sucker fish. Well, common plecos get really big, and ours is about 18-19 inches long. He's the biggest fish we currently own, and you can't see him, but he came out, kicked up some sand and stuff that was on the bottom, and now it's clearing out. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm not sure why. But also in this tank we have our silver dollars, which are original habits to this tank since we moved. And then I don't think you can see them real well. Let me see if I can zoom in on them. Sorry, I'm new at the zooming thing. But yeah, the fish right there with the stripes, there's 3 of them. Those are also original inhabitants of this tank. They're giant danios. And although they don't look the picture, it doesn't seem to be doing them justice. And then the ones with the stripes, they're the only handful of survivors out of one of the tanks that crashed. Now what crash means is the bio load was overloaded by all the food that was put in it, and it killed all the fish in the tank but those 5 I think there is in there, along with, see that big guy right there, that is Spot. He is a bushmaster, and he was in that tank also. That's all survived out of that tank. I lost 12 rainbow fish, full adult rainbow fish, and we lost our giant Synodontis, which is a really beautiful leopard patterned catfish. He was absolutely gorgeous, and we'd had all those fish for several years. So the next tank that we one of the ones we lost, the tank that they came from, is this tank right here, which if I can get set up, like I said, you'll have to excuse me, I'm not used to being on this side of the camera. Right there, see how cloudy that is? That is after 3 water changes, one of them being a complete water change. And what I'm doing is about every other day, I can't do a water change in this tank every day. Well, I mean, I could, but those plants you see in there, they're live plants, they're real plants. And they're helping me to clear the tank along with the filtration system. But I had to go through and completely drain the tank, get all the deceased fish out of it, and clean the filtration. Once I got done with that, I went ahead and filled it back up so I didn't lose the plants. But the plants will eat some of the cloudiness in the water also. And I could dump chemicals in it, but I don't really want to dump chemicals in it. I'm not a big fan of chemicals, but we're trying to figure out what to put in this tank next. I was talking to a friend of mine who has suggested dojo loaches, which are really cool looking fish, and some Julii dichromis, which are really pretty but small cichlid, and they're a good community fish, and they breed prolifically, and like I said, and they're really pretty. But that'll be one of the tanks we reset. And then the next tank, which is another tank that completely crashed, see how you can't see anything in there, and that is also after 2 water changes and a filter clean. And I'm letting it kind of do its thing. I will do water changes on this one also every other day, much like the one with the plants in it, only because I'm trying to get everything cleaned up, because I think what we're going to do eventually, this is just kind of me being lazy, but we're going to completely tear down this tank, and Chris wants to put in an amphibian habitat, frog habitat, for not tree frogs, but I can't think of what they're called, but they're really colorful, and there's like 800 million species of them. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and break down this tank into sections, and at about 20 inches each. It has a 4-foot long tank, so I can get 4 little tanks in there, and then we're going to put our frogs in each section, because the frogs that she's wanting to keep, you can't keep, but other than in mated pairs, they don't do well with other species. They fight and kill each other. But those were our two hardest tanks where we lost almost everything. We probably lost close to 40 fish, which was the biggest loss I think we've had in all the years we've been keeping fish. So if we move on to this tank here, so I gotta move you back up. This is one of my favorite tanks. It's not nearly as cloudy as it was, but it was close. This has had 3 water changes in 3 days and has undergone a filter clean also. And I can buy a chemical to that will clump up all those particles that are causing the cloudiness, but I don't really like doing chemicals. I got all the fish food. There was fish food all over the bottom of this tank, and I got all the fish food cleaned out of it, you know, and this is just residual that's in there now. But I don't know if you can see them or not, but all the ones that are hanging up out there at the top, that's telling me it's time for another water change, or they're eating. But I'm pretty sure it's just time for another water change, which I got to do today, which will give them their 4th water change. In this tank, the only thing I lost was I lost all my Amano shrimp and bamboo shrimp except for one. There is still one Amano shrimp left running around in there, and I lost 2 of my 3 dwarf loaches, which they're, like I said in a previous video, they're yesterday morning's video, they're absolutely adorable. They're so much fun to watch, so full of activity. They chase each other around, they play all day. They're just fun. And then my last tank is this one up here with my absolutely beautiful goldfish, so who eats everything. So she's pretty awesome. Yeah, I absolutely adore her. We've had her forever. She was in a tank with 3 other goldfish at one point, all of different species, but when we moved a couple years back, we pretty much managed to lose all of them but her. She was the youngest, and goldfish can live up to 25 years if you take good care of them. So she's about 4 years old now, 5 years old now, so she's still got a while. But anyhow, that's how my fish are looking at the moment. So let me get turned around here real quick. All right, so that's pretty much how the tanks are looking and all their misery. They're not in the best of shape. At least 2 are getting there, but they don't have any fish in them. The 3rd one that's kind of rough is, getting better. Every day. They're surviving. They're making it happen. They're not exactly thriving, but they're surviving. And then, of course, our princess goldfish back here, she's doing great as always. So, but we'll, I'll keep doing water changes on them, keep cleaning them. It's all part of fish, Not very often do you have a mass death like this, and tank crashes, but that does happen, This is something that me and Chris have been preparing for forever. I mean, back 3 years ago, we had 60 fish tanks running, and we could have easily come downstairs one day and our tanks crashed. Is it horrible? Yes. We lost a lot of fish that we'd had for years. The convict tank, the one that looked blue and was very cloudy, that had 3 generations of fish in it. So it's rough. It's not fun. The cleanup is, it's time consuming. Replacing fish can be expensive, especially now. It's been a few years since we've really bought any fish, and geez, oh Pete, fish have gotten expensive. So, it's going to be costly. Fish keeping isn't a cheap hobby to begin with. You really have to have a passion for it, and we do. This is probably my favorite hobby. I like woodworking. I love woodworking. I love to cook and bake. But this, not only does working on the tanks relax me, but sitting down here, just hanging with the fish, watching something on YouTube keeps me calm. It's something I enjoy. So, I'll start doing weekly or bi-weekly updates on how the tanks are looking. I do have one tank over if we'd have kept going clockwise, that I've got set up that, and I want to show him just because he's beautiful. That's my electric blue car, but he's in timeout right now. I mean, turn it real quick. You may get light in your face, but I had to put him in the timeout tank, which also doubles as a hospital tank right there. And that really is his color blue. He just is stunningly electric blue. And he is a great fish, but when when I transferred the handful of fish that were still alive in the one planted tank we looked at, he was not happy with that, not at all. So he was picking on Spot, and Spot's bigger than him, but Spot's not fast. He is he's a bushmaster fish, and what he does is, by nature, when he doesn't have to be fast, he just hides in the bushes and waits for his prey to come along, or the plants in the water. Waits for the fish to come along, and then he sucks them up into his mouth. It's really neat to watch him eat, even if he doesn't eat other fish. There's nothing small enough for him to eat in there. But so he's not horribly quick. He is strong, but I had come downstairs yesterday, and my blue Acara was picking on him, kind of giving him a what for and how, and that's not tolerated. So we put him in the hospital tank. Hospital tanks where if you have a fish that's sick, you put them in there, and you can treat them like we treat with aquarium salt. Sometimes medicine, but not very often. But right now that's a timeout tank, and what we're doing is, by having him out of there, when I reintroduce him in a couple more days, he will no longer be the head of household, so to speak, in that tank. Spot will, and Spot is not aggressive at all, so they'll leave each other alone. They'll establish a quick hierarchy, and my Acara will then realize he's no longer tank boss and move on from there. All right. So I think I've taken up enough of your time, but I really wanted to show you the fish and everything that's gone on. This was a rough Tuesday for me. On this aspect, before that was the 15-hour workday with just all kinds of shenanigans going on at work. And so that's an update on the fish room. Try the crunches. I think you'll like them. I know you'll like them just if you give them a shot. And it's really easy. Bag of chocolate chips, a bottle of caramel, and 4-ish cups of Rice Krispie treats. Mix them together, throw in the fridge. Done. So until next week, if I don't talk to you on Christmas, have a great Christmas. Hope you get to spend time with your family, and you get something really cool. If you do, share it with me in the comments. All the same. All right, I love you. I love you very much, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I know I say it on every video, but I only say it because it's true. Tell somebody else you love them, that you love them very much. Make them some of these crunches. I guarantee they'll like them too. It could spark a friendship. Get to know a neighbor. You never know. All right, till next week. Have a great Christmas. I love you. I'll talk to you later.